Oh, it's just great. Myra, great to have you on today on the Pipe Podcast. So excited for the viewers and the listeners to hear your story. And I'm your host, Crispin Cruz with the Pipe Podcast. Now, I know you're familiar with it, Myra. Some of the other people that are listening today might not be. So Pipe, stands for prospecting, for initiatives, sales process, and experiences. So we talk about those things and we talk about business. And today's, podcast is based on balancing your beliefs in business. So the BBB, I guess. I don't know. I guess I didn't really plan that. It just happened that way. But so glad to have you on. So I'd like to, just let's back up for a second and talk a little bit about you and the Joli Law Firm and all these things, that you've done and that you continue to do, like in your community as well as for your corporation, for your company, and for your business. Mm-hmm. And just give the viewers a little excerpt into what part of the world you run, Myra. Go ahead.
Well, I am originally from the Dominican Republic and the Caribbean. And we moved, me, my sisters and my parents, we moved to the United States back in the 90s. And then since when we started just, building, but the bases were the same, faith, family, and we continue going the way we were brought up to be. And we were blessed to be in the position that we are now. I graduated from law school in the Dominican Republic. And then when I came to the United States, little by little, I found my way to become an attorney. And then I got my certification to practice law from Louisiana, and I practice immigration. And I'm just, some people say, I'm just Jenny from the block.
I love it. Well, let's talk a little bit about, about how the law firm's doing. And, there's so many things that you've done, with immigration. Yeah. And that seems to be a bit of a hot topic right now. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that as well.
Oh, absolutely. We practice exclusively naturalization and immigration law. And I've been, crowned, I'm a beauty queen too, but I've been crowned to be one of the most active and involved immigration attorneys in South Florida. More so because when somebody comes for a consultation in my practice, I make sure I treat them as if I would treat somebody who comes to my living room, to my home. Mm-hmm. I take their place practically, and I try to make their problems mine to resolve them, always being realistic. And immigration is, we could say that the profession of law is a noble profession. That is, if the person who is carrying that oath has the same principles on it. Attorneys, they are dime a dozen. And being noble in the profession doesn't mean that every attorney has that principle. But when that principle is carried on and it has basis in substance, the war will run. And you're going to have haters and people who love you, but always nobody will be able to say, at least in my perspective, but when it comes to me, nobody will be able to say Myra took money from me and sold me a dream. The dream is what you create in your mind, and I make sure you wake up from that dream with what the reality is facing.
It's so good. It's so good that you talk about that. And because a lot of people have the perception of, the legal kind of the legal market not being as noble, right? That profession not being as noble. And it also aligns almost perfectly with the salesman, right? Or the salesperson. Like, it's like, because I too believe like sales is a noble profession, right? Mm-hmm. And it depends. And I love the way that you say it. Like it all depends on if the person, that you're dealing with has a high moral character, correct. Of course, and has your best interests in mind. Like all of those things align so perfectly with, the sales profession as well. So let's back up to a little event that I know about. All right. That I happen to know about that all of a sudden, just you blew up on social media. You blew up on social media, right? And it's like that little thing, like being at the right place at the right time. Like so many times in sales, we talk about timing, right? Especially when we're prospecting, we're picking up the phone, we're prospecting, we're cold calling, we're going through the motions, we're trying to find, potential prospect. And, and the timing is right. We talk to somebody that has an interest in our product or service, and we figure out the compelling reason why they want to buy, right? And then we see if there's a fit. And if there is, then we try to solve their problem, their challenge, their frustration, whatever that looks like, right? Okay. So this little event happens. You happen to be, and it's called the nodding lady, right? The nodding lady. So tell us a little bit. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, where were you? What were you there for? Like, what were you doing? Like, and how did this whole thing happen?
Well, the whole thing unfolds because I like a lot going to places, being in places that are lively and full of energy, people singing, dancing, whatever it is that has color and fun. Me and my sisters are like that. So, and the Trump rallies, I was one of the ones, always going if it is convenient, close by and stuff. And even if it wasn't close, I like going to the rallies because it's a lot of fun. It's like going to the fair. So, at that point, there was the flotilla. Flotilla is like there were a bunch of boats that were going to go to, support Trump on the water. So I told my husband, will you please take us, me and my friends? So we go to the flotilla. And then the same day was the town hall. So my friends that were in the flotilla, they live in Hollywood. They were going to go to Hollywood. So I decided, well, okay, we're going to get ready and then we're going to go. We would tell my husband, we have to come back quick because we have to be at the Paris Art Museum by 6. I go there with one of my friends. We get there very early. I was even surprised that, I'm used to the rallies and was a lot of people, a lot of security. There was security, but we were early. We had a perfect parking spot. We go up and we have to wait. When we go inside, they said, okay, everybody sit wherever you want. I pick a seat. And then the people from the station have somebody who works like the floor. And then somebody was giving them direction to go exactly where I was to switch me with somebody else. And then they go to me and go, we're going to switch you. So I switched to that place where I was. And mind you, I was the only Black person in the entire that I could see. But all of that came after, not before. I thought, well, they're going to switch me. I was even confused. Where was he going to sit? Because the center stage looks exactly the same. So I didn't know which way he was going to sit. I was hoping to be seeing him from the front. Right. And then I asked one of the security, one of the Secret Service, if he knew where he was going to be sitting. And he said, well, you're going to be looking at his back. I go, oh my God, all of these. I mean, that's fine. I'm here. I have you back, Mr. President. I was talking to myself, just doing my own live video myself. And then after that, the whole thing starts. I'm in my best behavior. And, I felt like when you have your son and going through this, and I felt it was my son that was being attacked. I felt it as an attack because one thing is a Q&A and another one is attack and I don't let you answer. So at some point, the little minute that he was given to answer, I was, when you agree with somebody, it's like unconsciously, you go like, that's right. Chocolate is good with water. And that's right. That's what I was agreeing with the guy that like if it was a conversation that I had, but he wasn't looking at me. So there was nothing that I was going to do that so he can see me agreeing. He's not looking at me. I'm talking to myself.
Right.
Like that, the guy's right. Yeah, that's right. That's the way I think. That's what and in the beginning, my husband was sending me texts, but I didn't pick up the phone. And he was saying, you have to stop moving. Stop. They're trying to get you off the train. But if you took me off the frame, they will take half of Mr. President with me. So they no choice. I was like right on, right there. And it's like you're saying, it's like that moment in time in which I didn't plan to be that way, but I did it. I rolled with the punches and I was there. And it was the moment that I wanted to, even if nobody was watching, because it was dark, I can see on the other side of the room. And I see Kimberly Guilfoyle. I see Tiffany Trump. I see his family, but they weren't in the dark. So I figure I was in the dark too. So I was protected there, just going like this. Yeah. I didn't have, there was no monitors for me to see if something was happening.
Right.
And then my husband was like, sending me those texts, and it was amazing. And then not only that, I didn't even know this was a big deal because during the commercial, I asked if I could, take pictures. They go and say, you can take pictures from the commercials and all that. But I was doing my what I do best, my live video and talking and showing my shoes and saying, we got you back, Mr. Trump, and all that, right? And at that time, I see somebody during the break. I see somebody who comes across and then is giving me a card. And the card was Mark Meadows. It's giving me a card, personal card. But at that point, you know how it is. I go, it's picking me up. Oh, it's like, I thought it was still some guy trying to. Right. And I know, what is this guy doing? I'm busy here doing this live video. And then after that, I was more than grateful that after everything finished, I thought everybody's going to be rushed out. But Mr. Trump turned around, directed having a conversation with me. And then after 1 second, I was satisfied with that. But the conversation continued. And some other people are calling his attention, and he goes talk to them and come back to talk to me, even to say hi to my mom.
Oh my goodness.
We talk about Sandy Sosa. We talk about Casa de Campo and things like that. It was amazing. And at this point, I was just thinking, since going to so many rallies and stuff, going to Mar-a-Lago so many times and different for charitable, not many political reasons, but more parties and charitable things that we share.
Right.
And then you feel like the person, but at that point, it's like he knew me. He didn't know me actually, because going to his house is like all the people that go to his house, and then I can never be that self-centered to think that Mr. Trump knows me.
Right.
No, maybe after that, after he met me that night, is when there was a real conversation, like one-on-one, and then after that, his wife and everybody else, and Don Jr. and the family and so right now we are. If I was like 6 degrees apart, now I am like 4.
Yeah, got it. I got it. So then this happens, right?
So then I go. Listen to this. I went out with my friend, and our idea was to go to the car before, so we can get out before everybody goes out. So, but we wanted to take a few pictures outside the Paris Art Museum in that area. So we are there. Okay, you take a picture now, and then I take your picture. And I see this guy and other people just hovering around. And his name was Michael Barnett. He's like the head of the Republican party, whatever. He was there to get my information, to invite me to an event at Mar-a-Lago with the president and with Christy Knowles and a bunch of big names.
Oh my goodness.
And I say, of course, can I bring my papers? And then it's like, okay. I mean, that was great enough.
Right.
But I didn't know who he was. Another one, my mind thinking, my husband tells me, when you go to those places, don't get picked up. Another one picking me up. What is that?
Right.
And then after that, there was somebody else waiting for me for an interview. Then there's Channel 4 waiting for an interview. Channel 6. I went home at about 2 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
And then after that, we didn't sleep because people from all over the world were
It's crazy.
trying to call my husband, trying to send me. I mean, my Twitter went from probably from 7,000 people to 70,000.
Right.
Everywhere. And even people trying to find me, and they say to dox me, DOX. And I was thinking, you're going to dox me? You done somebody when you don't know where they are. I am everywhere. I'm in church. I'm in the corner. I'm in a boat. I'm in the coffee shop. I'm in the supermarket. I'm everywhere. So it's an insult that you have to dox.
Right.
I thought I was everywhere. Even if a spiritual centers.
Yep. That's great. So all this happens, right? And then you get an invite to go on Fox News with Sean Hannity.
Oh yeah. At that point, there were so many news connections. One American News, Newsmax, the Real Voices of America, no counting the ones that were in Spanish, Telemundo, Univision.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere. And I try, I'm always being all over. So I try to, I go, yes, you too. Everybody. I was managing my own greed. And then when they contact me for Hannity, I asked Papa, I called my husband Papa. I asked Papa, I said, Papa, I have Hannity called me. I have One American News, and I have, but Hannity saying that don't talk to anybody until whatever. And my husband said, you're crazy. Wait for Hannity. Wait for Hannity. I know what I'm telling you, right? And and after that, it's like, he even told me what to, like, wear blue, because, because what happened is that I was a Democrat.
Well,
and then I remained a Democrat while I was supporting Donald Trump since 2006 and 2016. I knew of Donald Trump because of beauty pageant. I've been involved in beauty pageant for many years. And I knew he was the owner of the Miss Universe, but I never was The Apprentice, nothing. The reason I became a follower of Donald Trump is because we share passion for America and family values. And at that point, I say he is an American who wants to defend his country, which is now my nation. So, right. I mean, what is better than that? So I was destroying all of their narratives. Like, blacks don't support Trump. Yeah. Women don't support Trump. Educated people don't support Trump. Immigration attorneys don't support Trump. Black people don't support Trump. I was destroying all the narrative. And then they said, oh yeah, of course you are a Republican. Why wouldn't you? I'm a Democrat and I'm supporting reason. And that's how I stay a Democrat. Wow. Just to show them that not everything is that the color of, what the liberal media is trying to paint everybody with one whole brush that nobody wanted that guy. I didn't care if nobody wanted it. I did. And I said, that's fine. So I'm going to be, even immigration attorneys went into the attack. My colleagues went into the attack trying to discredit me. And it's like, I have the last laugh at the end, because when one has a real foundation of faith, family, it's difficult to just shake me up. It's difficult. The people were even calling my office to talk to my boss to get me fired. But I'm my own boss. Okay. So now they're my office have the attorneys and the employees that work for me to shame them into resigning. And I go, perfect. You pay their salary. That's why they can leave if they want. I'll find some trucker wanted to work, and my employees, they've been great because they know me. They know Myra Joli before 2016. It's not a matter of saying, even family members went the other way, but God has a way of fixing things. Maybe I needed some cleanup and destroy, and everybody that was gone is like, when the dog doesn't know that they have all these leeches and this, and it's in his skin. And all of a sudden they all leave without the dog having, I know that I'm a doctor, but without the dog having to take any medication to poison their skin so they get out.
Right.
They all left thanks to Donald Trump. So I have to please let whoever stays because they have the same values that I have, or even if they don't, it's because they really believe in me. They see that what you see is what you get. So what not to like? And I keep running the same way.
That's great. So this is what I love. And I'll just say it out loud is, we talk about authentic self, right? And this is what's happening on the business side of things now, Myra, which I'm sure that you know. And we actually talk, I think even at the beginning of the show, we talked about it, even before the show came on. About being more of your authentic self and bringing your authentic self to those that you serve and those that you engage with, right? Yes. And I think the listeners and viewers know that, Myra Joli, she has an opinion. She definitely has an opinion, and a strong one at that. Right?
And I always say, I will stand for that. Even if there's, that people start shooting, I'm just going to plant my flag and I stay there. Because it's the only way that if I tell you I'm going to be there and giving you a hand and helping you, you can count on that. Because, I always follow my word. And my word is the only thing that can carry with me. And then I can start, anywhere, and people will believe that what you say is exactly aligned with your action.
Yes.
I thought it was a basic, but apparently it's more difficult than not. Just to be aligning of what you say and what you do. And it's difficult. Not for me. You have to start, since the inception, instead of trying to make up stories. People will respect you for what you say. And then some people will not follow you because they don't like what you said, but some other people will follow you because they like what you said. And another group will say, like, I don't like what she said, but she said with such a conviction. I just want to follow her. Just to see how we got there.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So let's shift gears for a second. So what are you doing for, the Joli Law Firm? What are we doing this year? And you've already said, you were able to kind of get those that maybe were not aligned with your values, with your business, with your firm. And now, it sounds like you've got an incredible foundation. So tell me a little bit, like, what would you recommend to some of the listeners or the viewers on how to grow their business this year and how to continue to be authentic and continue, to be aligned with the value proposition that they offer? What would you recommend?
Well, I would recommend to keep your mind and your eye and your heart in ethics. Ethics, many people say like, oh, you have to have a good ethics. But what is being ethical? What is having ethics? Having ethics is not just growing a business and then going to the microphone and say you have to be ethical. Having ethics starts the moment you leave your house. So you are ethical when you leave your house and you know that you are responsible for whatever it is left behind that door. You don't lie, not even to your husband. Say, where are you? I'm by the airport when you haven't even left the house. That's unethical, but you have to cultivate that ethic, which in turn, it will be with you everywhere you go, even to the post office. See? And then it will follow you and you will apply to anywhere you are, even in your business. Another thing that you have to be mindful is of innovation. If you stay the same way you were when you were started, you're going to be left behind. Don't change your essence and your core, but you have to put some colors here and there. You don't go through the Rolodex. Now you're going to have to go to Time Matters or just have a calendar on your phone. Think that innovate your practice. For example, your practice, a lot about immigration, the ins and outs of immigration. Why don't you have a little, a little meeting or a live video or a podcast trying to to tell people something about it. Don't sell the whole steak. Just give them the sizzling, but say something so people can see that you are with it and have fun doing it. Have colors, look nice, like my friend here. You have to look nice and, proper, because otherwise nobody's going to tune in. Right. And the other thing is wealth. But you have to understand that the wealth of the business is the people that work for you. If you invest in them and they know that you're investing in them, they know that they have a stake in the company and they are going to apply your work ethics to that company because they are the face of your company as well. Your name is reflecting on what they do and how they work. You're not always going to be there picking up the phone and talking to the client, but you want to know that the people that are working for you will never tell the client something that is not accurate or just make up a story saying like, oh yeah, Myra Joli, she will call you. She's at an emergency. When Myra Joli just in the movie theater, do not cover saying that I am in an emergency when probably I'm just partying with my friends. Tell the truth. One of the things that I don't want, I don't want my personnel to tell my clients that, she cannot come to the phone because she's eating. For my clients, I'm never hungry. I'm always available for them.
I love it. For my clients.
Food is secondary to you, my friend.
I love it. All right, I got to read this.
I learned that with my mom. That's what family comes, because my mom, you can never call and say, oh no, I'm eating or I'm preparing dinner. Forget it. You better don't pick up the phone. Because if you're going to give them that lame excuse, you're going to say, so you mean food is more important than your mother? You don't want that. So
right. All right. So I got to read this list because it's such a long one. So, one of South Florida's most active immigration attorneys, live speaking events, for numerous organizations, appeared on various TV outlets. Telemundo, we talked about, NBC, CBS, Fox. You've been practicing your, law and running your own law firm, right? And then there's that's the whole professional side. We haven't even talked about the personal side of your life. All right. But I got to ask you, Myra, how do you do it? Like, how do you balance it? Like for those entrepreneurs, for those business owners, for those firms out there, like, how do you balance all that you do throughout your work, your month, your year? How do you do it?
Well, I've been blessed with having good people around, but the good people come around because you radiate good vibes. That's when you have that happiness around you. It's not being happy, it's being content and trying to always go around and be happy with what you have. So apparently that draws people close to you. So I have a lot of people. I have my sisters there. My dad, he's 90 some years old, just a couple of weeks ago. And we always say we don't get depressed. That's what we call our golden rule. If you don't have time to get depressed, that time that you could use being depressed and feeling victim of feeling sorry for yourself, you utilize into maybe ironing, cleaning the closet, doing more things around the house. So the day doesn't get ahead of you. You're always ahead of the game. It's like the horse. You have to be that horse. You have to be in front of the cart. The day has 24 hours. If you think about it, how many hours of the day you waste just doing nothing? And then it's time to do everything, and you do a little bit at a time so everything doesn't collapse on you. For example, I love to come to work on a Saturday, on a Sunday, on a holiday when everybody's, resting if I am around, because I see your job as some extension of your life that is fun. Not just that you're going to go there, I have to go there and make the money. So try to find something attractive, even if you bring just an orange.
Right.
Come to work. So, be mindful that you're looking forward to peel that orange and eat it while you're working. Mm-hmm. And that way you would be surprised when you go up to work, when people are not there, 3 hours means like a whole day of work because you have no interruption. And you feel much, much relief because you don't have all of these little messages that you have to return, but you put it away because you think it's not important. That's how I do it. Plus, I like to take information and I assimilate that to the way I was brought up. In the Dominican Republic, there's always a chisme. Chisme is like, like what gossiping going on.
Yeah.
But to be a gossiper, a good gossiper, you have to accumulate a lot of information and being able to release it at when the time comes. But you cannot be a gossiper who, like enhancing information and add on. You have to really be a good gossiper. And at that point, I kind of always go back and think in the basic, because how is that? How can it be that I retain all of this information of so many clients and I remember all of that? And I can, I remember that I had to go get my shoes from the shoe store. Oh, that lady told me that she wants to have the recipe. And then my son said, Mom, can you ship me? He's in NYU, New York University is studying filming and all that. Can you send me the battery of my camera that I left that I forgot? I'll go, yes. Don't forget to do that.
Right.
And I never tell people, I'm so busy. That's a lie. When somebody tells you I'm too busy, or when I ran for Congress, for commissioner, for mayor, I did all that and I cook and I went to the supermarket and I ran my business. So there's a way that you can do it all. I don't know. Maybe because the day has 24 hours and from those 24 hours, if you only sleep 5, you have a lot to work on. Not all the things that you conduct can be, have to be done between 9 to 5. There are other things that you can do in different times, even reading. But I'm not a good. I don't read it for fun. I read for work. But I
got it.
I'd rather watch podcasts.
There you go. So what's next? So let's tell our viewers and our listeners what's next for you, Myra. I mean, what's the next best, what's the next big thing when we talk about Myra Joli? Tell us.
Well, when we talk about Myra Joli, she has done it all. I mean, I say I've been blessed, but I've been a good girl. That's why things work out. Not that things work out because I'm positive, or I'm positive because things work out. I was just a good girl. Right now, there is, the housewife of Miami has been talking to me about putting me on their show. That would be good for them because I'm a real housewife. If you ask me about it, real housewife. I don't think I'm going to be in politics and the front end of politics anymore. I'm always going to be supporting President Trump because today that's the only politician that I will put my hand on the fire for it, so to speak. Don't do it. That's the only politician that I truly, honestly believe. So I'm going to continue supporting him. And my support doesn't have to be, hey, Mr. Trump, look over here. I support you. I will support. Life will put those things around. Based on connections and things that we do, because we are a simple family. The Joli is a simple family, and I am the most advanced Joli in the United States. Then it's my sisters. My sister work with me, but in London, in Europe, there is a Joli, my sister, which was is the most advanced and more well sought after Joli. So this formula. It's not just that I created the formula. The seed is being planted in all my sisters and being repeated. My sister Ingrid lives in Jupiter in Palm Beach, and she's the one who manages the Fashion Night on Wrinkle, which is a fashion show through the foundation that we created. This is the 10-year anniversary. It's going to be this February the 24th. We created that just to help causes out there like Daily Gale, Casa Valentina, autism, mission for the homeless, and then in cancer, for women cancer, all of these. For 10 years, we've been doing that. But why nobody knows that? Because that's what Sharon is about. You to do it and then you help the causes and you don't have to be drumming your drums. My sister is a organizer of the fashion show and the Palm event, which is one of the big events in Mar-a-Lago every year. My sister Ingrid. So the Jolis is a seed that was planted, and that is exactly what we are going to leave on our offsprings, our children. Our children see they wanted to be with us, with the aunts, with me, with them. They wanted to be part of it. They don't see us as old people just not knowing nothing. That's
Right.
why innovation comes into play. Not only you innovate in your business, you innovate in your family and your surrounding, and you innovate yourself. Because when you take care of this temple, everybody is going to be coming around because it's a good, nice, like a good pair of jeans that you put it no matter how many times you watch it, but when you put it, it's comfortable and you feel like at home. That is me. That is us. That's the Joli signature.
That's awesome. That's great. Listen, I'm so glad to have you on today. So we're going to go ahead and move to, this is why people come on my show, Myra, to be honest. They want to know like all of these little tidbits about you,
Yes.
right? That maybe they hadn't heard before.
Yeah.
So it's called The Sales Arbiter 7. And it's a tribute to James Lipton. I don't know if you remember Inside the Actors Studio. It was a show where James Lipton had, a lot of superstars like on the show. And he would ask them a series of questions at the end of every interview. And so I kind of masked this after that. So I'd like the listeners to hear your answers, to some of these, to what we call the Sales Arbiter 7. Okay. So we'll just jump into that. So tell me, Myra, what is your favorite word? What's your favorite word?
My favorite word has to be, it's going to sound like about sub-center, but my favorite word is Joli. Because Joli means, the essence of my last name, Joli Car, means beautiful heart. It was, how over the generations, we became Joli. And Joli is beautiful. So Joli is my favorite word. And when you heard Joli somewhere, Myra Joli, that is like music to me.
I love it. Okay. What is your least favorite word?
Oh, I have a few, but this one is like, when people go, first and foremost, that's that. Right? First and foremost, yeah, how they match, how they put it together. But you have heard, like, okay, first and foremost, I hate that word. Oh my God.
I love it.
Passion.
All right. So what's something that could make your day?
A quick to Casa de Campo. Quick, because if it's less than two and a half hours away, you go to a beautiful villa. You have everything, you have people who cook for you. All you have to worry about is what am I going to wear today? That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. And everything is in order. That's what I try to model my life.
I love it.
I love it. People working for me. Yeah. A quick trip to Casa de Campo and it makes my day. It's easy.
There we go.
We can leave now and come back like day after tomorrow and it's going to be perfect. Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Yes.
What's something that could ruin your day?
Well, somebody calling saying that if you are, like I say, if you are who you said you are, why don't you tell your father to get you down from this cross? Have you heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you are who you said you are, why don't you have your father, God, get you out of this cross? That what can ruin my day is somebody trying to challenge my belief. And not the part of ruining the day is when that person challenges the beliefs and then disappears. Like that. Who was it? I mean, they are so brave that
like a drive-by.
That's ruins one day because I can't give you that punch back.
Right. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's good. Okay, so what sound or noise do you love?
Oh, my husband snoring. Absolutely. You have to start loving what you think everybody has hate about their spouse. But he says I snore, but I don't believe him. That's what I say. I tell him, I love when you snore. That's a sound. Yeah. That's a sound that I do. I love. Why? Because it's simple. And I know he's sleeping soundly and going to sleep is like having a Tesla. You have to plug it in. Otherwise, you don't want to eat the next day. That's sleeping is that time when you get plugged in and then you get your energy and you go to the Shangri-La and you go to that place in which only you know, which is you.
That's great.
Yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
The blowers.
Yeah, the blowers. Yeah.
You know why I heard that? Because there's nothing. You're not doing anything. You blowing the leaf to the other side. And then, well, isn't it better to pick them up, to wipe? I'm a good, domesticated wipe. To just pick them up, wipe it, wrap it, and then put it in the bag instead of blowing. And that blowing is like it reflects in every aspect of life. You blow the problem and you try to put it in someone else's yard. You blow the problem and with the noise, you get distracted and the person is more annoyed by the noise, but what you're doing, just pushing the garbage somewhere else. And I worked in politics. In politics, there's a bunch of, blowers.
Right.
You're walking the problem somewhere else. And the noise is so unbearable that you just like, go ahead when it's going to stop.
It's so good. It's so good. All right. Last one. So what profession would you have liked to attempt other than your own? Is there any profession that you would have liked to attempt other than your own?
Yes. I would like to be. Wow. You don't want to like this?
Come on.
I would love to be a cleaning lady. Yes.
That's great.
Because I don't have a clean lady. I clean my own house. I do it. I clean, I wash, I even if I have to bake dog, I'll do it. But she's very special. I can do that. Why I say that? Because taking pride in a profession, in a job, is the best that you can have. And there's no way it can be, in order to clean a house and to be a good, effective, productive, good cleaning lady, you have to treat that house as if it was your own. And I always say, what I know, I can do any job. If I put my passion into, I can do any job perfectly. And I know if I become a cleaning lady, I'm gonna have the best business because I am going to make sure not even the owner of the house will clean it better than me. The things that are so simple, like everybody think that I can clean a house, I can be a clean lady. No. No, everybody can clean a home. And actually, I will have no problem being a cleaning lady.
Of
course.
I love it.
Just
I love it.
Reality show, put a cleaning lady in me and let's see who cleans that house better.
I love it.
It will be me. And without all those chemicals, I even use, if I have like a dishwasher solution, I use that to clean the bathtub. Nobody's going to complain. Is the bathtub going to complain that I'm using dishwasher solution to clean? Of course not.
It's going to be clean.
But it's
going to be clean.
Yes.
Myra, it's so great having you on today. Thank you so much for being with us here on the podcast, the Pipe Podcast, and me hosting you today. It's just been awesome. Please go to jolilaw.com. Check out Myra. Check her out on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter. and follow her as well. Myra, thanks again for being on.
Thank you.
I always close the show by saying, folks, listen, keep selling and have fun doing it. Thanks, Myra.
That's right. Keep selling. Everything is about selling.
That's right. Bye-bye now.